This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
My friends over at Chip Theory Games. Have they finally failed? No. No. They can never fail. I've got something in the mail which I wasn't expecting and wasn't on my radar, and that's 20 strong. I opened it up, and much to my surprise, I was blown away again. I think we'll talk more about chip theory on the other side of this. Right now, I'm just going to go down, give a little explanation of this, and then what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll talk more about the great chip theory games.
So I'm not going to explain everything here, but this is just a fantastic game. And there's so much that comes in this little box. The very first one that I opened up is Solar Sentinels. Now, I haven't played the other two yet, but I will tell you this much. Just from this alone, this is a home run for me. You are going to be one of these really cool, like, robot dudes, okay? So you could pick either, what side you want to be. You could be the Stellar Blade, or you can be the Valkyrie. You're going to get a special ability, and that's going to be all cool. You're going to take these dice because your health and stuff is going to change as you go. So you have a dice here for that. This here, which is 2, this is how many times you can re-roll and stuff. They call that your strategy die. And this is your recovery. So it's at a 2. So that means you're going to get a certain thing about at the end of each turn. They suggest that you don't play with the mission cards to begin with, but what you're going to do is when you get this down as a whole, you're going to lay down 4 cards. And then you're going to have to complete these missions. You have to complete them in order. But you're only going to pick 3 out of the 4. So you're going to have to defeat those, because at the end of the game, if you have not beaten the 3 missions, you are going to get an extra enemy added to the boss, which the boss is tough on his own, and he brings in a whole bunch of his own acolytes, which is not cool. What you're going to do is you are going to pick out of one of these stacks, and you're going to go, hey, I'm going to face this guy first, okay? As you can see, he has 1 health, so all we got to do is hit him once, but he will hit us for 2. He does have an ability. If this enemy is defeated, banish all dice applied to it. So you want to be careful, because banish means they're gone from the game, because this is your dice pool, okay? And these dice I'll explain in a minute. You want to be very careful. But as you can see, I only got 3 health. So if I get hit for 2, I'm in a hole already, okay? And the only way I can get to the boss is by A, defeating an entire pile, okay? Which I can choose to go to the boss, or if I defeated all 3 piles, then I'm forced to go fight the boss. Okay, this dial is for the missions, so you can keep track of different things, but you are going to pick dice, and how many dice you allocate depends on what happens here. Now, for instance, here I get another reroll after I roll this, but these dice only have hits on 2 sides. Okay, so if I dedicate these 2 and I defeat the enemy with with this dice, once you commit a dice, that's it. They don't get to go back. Okay, unless I'll show you, for this particular enemy, they would be banished from the game. But I'm taking a chance here. Okay, so I was able to hit. So now these 2 are gone from the game. But if that ability was not there, okay, it would be great, because I would defeat the enemy and I would get the bonus here. Like it says, well, +1 to recovery. Okay, so I would get that, and it is a permanent. Okay, so that's awesome. Okay, and I don't get hit. They do not hit me because I've already defeated the enemy. Great, I'm doing all right. This dice means how many dice I can bring back. So if I decided, and we decided to fight a really tough enemy, and I'll explain that card in a minute, with 4, well, I need to get 4 hits. If this only rolls on 2 sides, has hits on 2 sides, and this is a critical, which is 2, and then this is just 1, okay? So you have 1 hit, and then you have 1 critical. Critical does 2 damage. if I want to commit, I need 4 hits. Well, I'm not going to use these dice. I'm going to take some of the dice that do better. The green has 3 hits on it. The blue has 4. The purple has 5. And the one red die has a hit on every one, but only 1 critical on one side. So what do I want to dedicate to it? Well, what if I go, well, I'm gonna roll all this stuff, okay? Because I need to get rid of this guy because skip the recovery dice step. Oh boy. So I'm gonna roll that, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, great. I was able to defeat defeat him. That's great. That's fantastic. Here, +2 health, and or discard a mandatory enemy from the top of any stack. Okay, well that's great. So I get rid of a card. So if I really want to get rid of something, I'll get rid of it. Depending on what I see, because I'm going to be looking at the abilities here on that I can help myself, but I also have to take a look at the abilities up top because there's certain things that can happen. Now all these dice will come over here. I can't get those. I can only bring back 3 of those dice. So I'm going to take the best dice I can take. I'm going to take my red, I'm going to take my purple, and then I'm going to take my blue. These are going to stay over here. And unless I get this up higher, and as you go through this deck, there's going to be more and more enemies that I'm going to need to roll more and more and force my hand to roll more and more dice. So my pool becomes limited because I'm not able to get enough dice back. Okay? It's great. I can get all kinds of abilities and stuff like that, which is fantastic. Now this is an instant, okay, which is a lightning bolt. They also have things that are ongoing, which you'll put onto your side. That, and not only does this mean how many times you get to reroll, and you want to up that number, but also how many abilities you'll be able to keep, because there are some that you can hold on to, which are single use, and then others that are instant, and then others that are ongoing from the enemies. Now let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that go on that aren't good here. If you see this card on top of your deck, you have to pick this card, even though you may want to pick something else. And that's the beauty of it. For the most part, keep your piles nice and neat, because you don't know what's going to be underneath. And when you pick this out and you go, okay, I'm going to get rid of this card or something, and this card shows up, well, you have to face this enemy. But there's a little thing here that has a little skull, and if anything has a skull, that means you're going to have to pick another enemy to come down with it. So now I've got to do 7 damage. It's going to do 3 damage, which would kill me if I let any of it go. So now the more dice, say I'm down to this, well, I need to come up with 7 hits somewhere, okay? And that's all I got. And I've got to be able to try to figure out, I'm only going to get 3 of the dice back. I've already got a big pile in my discard, and it's a weird strategy that's going to go on. And like this guy, if he comes out, he comes with 2 guys. All right, and you don't need that, because then you have to come up with more and more hits. So you've got to be conservative with your dice. You've got to be conservative with what abilities that you want to use, what you're going to face, and how you are going to deal with certain things, because some of these cards are nasty. I mean, they are filthy. And that's not even talking about some of the stuff that you have with the bosses, which are ridiculous with 9 health. Yeah, you better make sure you have all your dice and stuff for that, and able to do plenty of rerolls, or else you are going to get your butt handed to you. And you will get your butt handed to you, because this is a great game. Let's go up top, and we'll talk more about this, and we'll take it from there.
I love this, and I haven't even opened up Too Many Bones and Hoplomachus. Okay, so I've heard that it changes the rules a little bit, but just out of the box, opening up a new world, and people do not give chip theory games for what they have done for board gaming, just as a whole. The imagination, the creativity, the heart, and just plain dedication and intelligence that the Carlson boys and everybody have put in together over there, Shannon and everybody. I mean, just what they have done for this tremendous company is beyond words. This is one of the best companies, and this is why board gaming is where it is. Chip Theory games are fantastic. They introduce new worlds, new imaginations. They open your mind to different things, and it's one of my favorite companies. Their kindness, their professionalism, the games, the ease of learning the game, how the components, which are just off the chart all the time. Even these cards, I mean, they're foil cards. I mean, they could have just made regular cards and still had a great game here. But the little refraction that they have in it, just everything done to perfection. And this is why they are one of the best companies in the world. So I really suggest you go pick this up. This is fantastic. I love it. It was quite a surprise, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. So until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.